Hey, y'all. So I just finished this audit and I learned a couple of things. That This is not my first audit. I've been to audits before, but this guy really did a real thorough job, and he taught me a couple things that I didn't know before. One thing, on your list of audit items to bring in, one of them is your yearly vehicle inspection. If your inspection ran out and you have an inspection and you fail it, don't panic, because they're looking for documentation that you've had an inspection. You don't have to have a past inspection with you. If you get pulled over and you get pulled over into the scale, that's a different story. But for the actual audit, they're looking for a paper trail just to make sure that you're doing the things that you're supposed to do. So don't rush out. Well, rush out and get your stuff fixed. But I just spent about $13,000 getting all this stuff together for this audit. So some of that stuff I could have just pieced out, but I'm glad I got all of it done, because once I get to the truck, I'm going to show y'all all the people who always call me and ask about finding trucks to buy, whether get a new one or old one. And I always tell them the older a truck gets, the newer it gets. Well, this truck is basically brand new as far as parts, and next week I'm getting it painted. The frame as well as the body is getting a custom paint job. So you'll see this is going to be a brand new truck. Also, you're required to have your logs, your driver logs, and on the back of your logs, if you're doing paper logs, you'll have a driver inspection sheet where you're inspecting the truck and writing down anything that's wrong with it, your DVIR. Well, I was under the impression that you have to have those for every day. If you're a one unit company, you don't need the DVIRs. If you have multiple units, but you need the DVIRs. Also, for trucking companies starting, there's two files you're going to want to keep. And to make things very simple, get a folder, and every time that you have some type of repair done to your truck, take the receipt and put that away in the folder. That way, when it's time for your audit, you don't have to worry about it. Also, for yourself or your drivers, anytime you get an inspection or anytime you get pulled over, whether you get a warning or a ticket or whatever, put that in a separate folder. That way you have all your stuff neat and orderly, and you ain't scrambling around for papers at the end of the year. So these audits are not anything to panic about. I've had people call me and scared to death they got audits coming up. It's not nothing to panic about. This is law enforcement, but it's DOT. It's basically for educational purposes, your first audit. Now, you can trigger an audit. Those are more severe. But your very first one, they calling you in there just to make sure you're on top of everything. And if it's things that you aren't on top of, then they'll let you know. And if you fail an audit, you could do what's called a corrective plan, which is what I had to do for my second audit I did. My very first audit, I didn't even have a truck. I had a trucking company that wasn't active. I was working off of a dream, because I knew what's happening today would be happening then. I just had to wait for time to catch up to my vision, which it did. But my second audit, we was running 7 trucks. I failed it miserably. I got a $6,000 fine. We didn't have nothing, no logs, no applications, nothing. And we did a corrective plan, got back active, got back to work. This is my third audit, passed it with flying colors. And I'm just keeping y'all updated so y'all can learn as I'm learning. If you got any questions, hit me up. And as always, if you're interested in trucking, you're trying to get a CDL, you want to start a trucking company, text the number 85. That's 85 to my slick text number, which is 855-675-0609. Till next time, peace.